Everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. You are in the kitchen with KK and happy spring equinox. We've got a shift of energy today, so important to the physical body. So over the spring season, which is going to last to the summer solstice, we're going to be focused on liver and gallbladder. Liver, the most hardest working organ in our body, especially today. And so what we're going to be having fun with today is National Noodle Month. All right. So I pick out some fun things in the month that we're in to do some educational videos, and that's what we're doing. But we're actually going to combine one of my very favorite liver recipes. So I'm the creator of the bioenergetic cooking method. It's really looking at the science of food, the information encased in food, and how it can help to heal, nurture, and support the organs and functions of the body. So you can get my book on Amazon as an ebook now. I'm almost out of all of my hard copies, but all color coded here. So the dark green, we're in the season of green, so wear something green. I got a little bit of green on today, and a few little sparkles left from St. Patty's Day. So we're ushering in springtime and St. Patty's Day. So this is dandelion green pesto over fresh zucchini noodles. Amazing for your liver. And you're going to see why once we get going here. So I use this pesto recipe for several things. That's why I make more, and you can store it in the freezer. It's a filling in my green garden lasagna here. Just fantastic. And where else do I use it? Well, I also saute them down, those dandelion greens. But anyway, if you're interested in the book, it's available. And so kelp noodles. I love kelp noodles. I could eat the entire package of this. But why are they so amazing? Like, I didn't really use them for a while. You can get them in the international section of Whole Foods. Of course, they're gluten-free. Everything that I do is gluten-free just to help not create issues in the intestines, in our neurotransmitters. They do affect our brain and our the way we're thinking and our whole mental capacity, and they are behind things like bipolar and things like that. So gluten is not friendly for us. And they're very low carb. So they're perfect for weight management. Anyone that is trying to eat in a keto style, meaning you're keeping those net carbs under 50 grams or lower, and you're working with some fasting windows and things like that, and I work with my clients on that for easy weight management, because we don't diet. No diets here. We eat clean food. We teach the body how to get into fat burning naturally. This is a great support. They're nutrient dense. Like most vegetables and fruit, they're so nutrient dense, as well as being low carb. But they're very, very high in iodine, which iodine is necessary for our thyroid. Thyroid problems are also caused by other things today, and Dr. Pompa is bringing a lot of attention to the fact that inflammation, and I talk about inflammation, we're reducing inflammation by getting rid of dairy and gluten and soy and corn and things like that. Inflamed cells do not work right, but we need iodine for our thyroid. So if you're not, I take National iodine drops as well, but this is a really great source. Also calcium rich, fiber rich, magnesium, potassium. That's why they're heart health friendly. The heart needs these minerals, and it needs the liver to be strong as well. And that's fantastic. Vitamin C. Now, they're also antioxidant rich. We don't taste antioxidants, but we can see them. And many things like red cabbage is going to have anthocyanins. That same anthocyanins is going to be in blueberries. But the overall name are phytonutrients. Those are plant nutrients, and antioxidants are our cellular bodyguards. We need lots of bodyguards today because we've got a lot of oxidative stress going on. Antioxidants help out in that arena. So there's many different names of antioxidants under those phytonutrients. This one's going to be high in flavonols. What else did I write here? Carotenoids, polyphenols. So there's a whole long list of different antioxidants. Really great reasons to use this. So let's show you how you prepare this. First of all, I store them in the refrigerator after I purchase them on the shelf in Whole Foods, just because I like them a little chilled. We're going to rinse them first, and then we're going to be soaking them in water, baking soda, and lemon juice. It's going to break them down, soften them up, but let's get them rinsed first here. So this is why you need to have some different sized strainers. So get them all nice and rinsed. Okay, perfect. Now, all of the water in my place is filtered. So when that comes out, that's filtered water. It's not chemical laden water or city water with chlorine in it. So we need at least a cup of filtered water. You can measure that out. And then we're going to need a tablespoon of baking soda. So baking soda and lemon juice obviously are going to react when you put them together. So that's what's going to happen here. I'm going to cut myself a fresh lemon. We're also going to use some lemon in the pesto. And then you're going to massage them by hand, and you're going to feel when they start to soften up and become less rubbery. Okay, you see the reaction that just happened here in the water. It's exactly what you want to happen. That reaction is going to help break down the noodles. All right, so let's get these in. Trying not to get water everywhere. I'll wipe this up when we take a break. So now you just go through them. More green right here. I got a lot of green stuff for our St. Patty's Day party that we had at the polo match. Polo's very relaxed here in Sarasota. It's fun. So you can start to feel them getting softer. And you're just going to massage them through the water until the feeling is to your desire. You don't want them too mushy, obviously. So the first time you do this, you'll get used to it. But these, they're filling yet and filled with nutrients, yet there's no carbs, so they don't leave you feeling heavy at all. And you can definitely eat the whole bag. Now you can add these to soups if you want as well. But I just like to put my pesto over them because the pesto is raw nutrients. Your liver really appreciates every nutrient that's in there. So it doesn't really take long. They're starting to feel soft already, and we're not even at a minute. But what you have to understand is springtime and liver, they're all in connection here. If we've got a sluggish liver, nothing's working well in the body. If you don't have the energy, you're not starting new things, which are going to develop throughout the year. And that's what springtime is all about. Spring is sprung, cleaning up the closets, cleaning the house, getting new plants. Green is the color of money and wealth and health. So indulge in it. Start to use different greens that you haven't used before. And we're going to, my next video after this one is going to be, because National Spinach Day is also in March, we're going to be talking about spinach, and that's a very common green, but you're going to want to introduce yourself to other greens. So we'll talk more about that too. But the liver is where all unproductive viruses and molds and toxins and bacteria, they move in, and they love it there. But we need to help the liver do its job. The liver does know how to detox the body. We just have to support it. You probably heard of milk thistle, and that's one of the most common supplements for the liver. And tea as well. So we're going to strain these. Give them another little rinse. Okay, so those are perfect and all ready to go when we're ready. And this is not going to take long at all. So next up is our dandelion green basil And I'm not going to put moringa in, but you can put moringa in the recipe. I do put moringa in. It's very high in iron, really great nutrients. So that will add in more. These are fresh dandelions. I get them at the farmer's market every Saturday, except for I ran out. So I had to get them at Whole Foods. Now I do get all my herbs on Saturdays here. Beautiful basil. I keep them stored in glass jars, and I just keep the bag over them like this in the refrigerator. So it keeps them really perky and alive. Perfect. So I've already measured out. It's a little over a cup. You want a little more dandelion greens and basil. So most people are used to basil pesto, but you can make pesto with kale and other things. And I do have another recipe in my book for that. Now, pine nuts are common in our pestos. Some people have a little allergy to pine nuts, so you can switch that up. I make one with walnuts for one client. I'm going to be adding in some Brazil nuts here. So again, we've got iodine, selenium. These are very important nutrients for the thyroid protection as well. So first of all, let's get in these bitter greens, dandelions. You're going to be hearing more about them, how powerful they are. They are the king of our greens. I put them into my green smoothies, of course, but they really help the liver produce what it needs to do to help. It needs good, strong liver enzymes. We need good, strong bile, which is stored in our gallbladder to help us break down fats. And sluggish liver, stagnant bile, those are all very common problems that cause digestive discomfort and other things. So often the liver is not focused on, and that is where I start with all my clients. We go right to the liver. I educate them and we start to clean it up. And presto, they feel better within days. And that's what happened to me over 15 years ago. So you can just use kitchen scissors to make your life easy here. And let's get the basil in there. Actually, I'm going to put some Brazil nuts kind of in the center. They're a little bit bigger. Pine nuts are softer. So we just get a nice little handful. And just 3 Brazil nuts a day gives you enough selenium. So there are ways to get them. Now, typically, I would be using a very high quality virgin first cold press olive oil. I'm actually out, which is rare. I must not have noticed. So I'm going to be using a high quality avocado oil. This oil I use and reserve for not for cooking as much. Light, buttery, extra virgin. This one I use more for dressings, and I have a very high heat avocado oil that I use for a lot of the high heat things because I don't heat my avocado oil. So garlic, I love my garlic. You can use 2 to 5. I've got 5 cloves here, so I'm putting in more possibly than normal. And so now let's layer on the basil. Your blade and a food processor is going to do the job for you. This KitchenAid version is the one that I prefer. It's got a nice wide cup here. You've seen me use it so many times. And it's the KitchenAid 7 cup. It's actually not made anymore. You can get it refurbished. It's in perfect condition for so inexpensive. So I invest in a lot of them, so I have them as backups. We need at least a third of a cup. I'm eyeballing this, so which is easy for me, but you can measure out a third of a cup. If you get a little bit more, no worries to do. Very simple. I'm putting in an entire lemon. If you think an entire lemon is too much for your palate, you can reduce it depending on the size of the lemon. This is a good size lemon. A small lemon, you definitely need the whole thing. This is my favorite lemon juicer because it really gets out all of the lemon very well without wasting it. See what I'm saying? So let's get that in there. You can see this is just the most simple recipe. It's all about layering. Before I put in the oil, I'm going to give it a spin on high. Lock your ears. So perfect. That's 15 seconds basically. We're just breaking it down a little bit here. You're going to want to have a few of these little spatulas. They're really, really helpful, especially for this tool. And the avocado oil or your virgin first cold press olive oil, you're going to need between a third or a half a cup, depending on how much of this you're making. So we're just going to start here. This is probably about a quarter. I'm going to start with it a little bit lighter. It's getting ready, done. So what we're putting in here, all things that the liver loves, and similar things that I put into my dressings. So we're talking about the bitter greens dandelion, numero uno for liver protection. And bitter greens, though, are not so often sought after because so many people have a very high sweet palate and they're not used to bitter greens. So that we've got to find ways to get them into our bodies. Very easy to hide them in my green smoothie. You can hide them very easily with pineapple. So once you get it broken down nice and get all the big pieces back down, now you can add in extra oil to get it to the consistency you want, because you can also use this as a dip for crudité. So you would want more. As a pesto, you might want a little thicker. I stuffed chicken breast with this pesto. It's fantastic. Like I said, it's a whole layer with my roasted garlic, creamy cashew sauce instead of ricotta cheese. And that's a layer in the lasagna. So let's get some more in here. And we're almost done, by the way. I'm going to have a sip of my green smoothie. Now, if you were already honoring your liver prior to, I had all of my clients getting ready, ending kidney season, going into liver season easily before, doing a little bit longer fasting, increasing your green juices, increasing green smoothies, preparing your liver so that you're not going to have a healing crisis during this time. Many people can. We're almost done. That's how easy this recipe is. I think it's getting lighter. So the other thing you can add to this, because I don't use any cheese, you can add a little bit of nutritional yeast if you prefer to add in some extra protein. What I'm going to put over the kelp noodles with the pesto is my grounded up pumpkin seed. Love that. Works so fantastic. So we're done. This recipe is done. And I am going to just tidy up a bit. We're going to come back. I'm going to show you perfect jars to put this in so you can freeze one and use one. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're having fun here. So we're back. You know, it's always important to keep your workspace organized. It makes you feel in control and simple. So here we go. The blade, nice big blade we have here. This blade is perfect for breaking down. It's not, some of the blades in food processors are pretty chintzy. And let me just get the excess off here so we can save it. That's why these little silicone spatulas are super helpful. So this is a perfect jar. I just got these. These are 8-ounce wide mouth jars. Perfect. You can put homemade sorbet, homemade ice cream in here in the freezer, extra sauces, things like that. So we're going to put some in here. We're going to use the rest. And this pesto freezes really well. When you freeze it when it's fresh, tastes divine. So I can use this for stuffing fish or on anything, on any type of other alternate pasta. I just found a sweet potato red lentil pasta. Fantastic. So good. I used it with the pesto. So this jar is already ready to go in the freezer. So let's get this lunch lined up here. So I just put all the pesto in here. If you were splitting this with someone, I don't think I'm splitting it. I think I'm going to eat the whole thing. Perfect. So let's get, you want a good amount of pesto in here. That's up to you. Probably enough. I saved out some fresh basil we're going to put on top. So all you do is toss it around with a fork. You don't want to over massage those kelp noodles. They won't be firm anymore. They'll be really kind of mushy. So you'll just get them and try it out. It's super, super fun. Now this is completely fragrant and amazing. What I'm going to add to the top for extra nutrients, 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds have 10 grams of very easy to digest amino acids, and it is completely alkaline in the body. You know, I talk about an alkaline body as a disease-free environment, and greens are also big in helping out that. So this gives it a little bit more meat and texture. Nutritional yeast, also high in B vitamins. So if you want to add some, go ahead. I'm just going to add a sprinkle on myself and dress it up with some of the basil here. I'm going to ribbon cut some of the bigger ones. And then, of course, I'll take a photo. So we're dressing it up real nice. Ribbon cutting, you're just going to roll these up and then just cut through them. Very easy. Toss it on. Fabulous. We're done. I hope you enjoy some kelp noodles. If you've never tried them before, get creative. And this is just amazing. Thanks for tuning in today. If you really enjoyed this for National Noodle Month, which is in March, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And as always, it's just my inspiration to get you back in the kitchen where health is going to start in your family, for you, getting inspired with simple, nutrient-dense recipes. Bye, guys. Have an amazing day.